Hello there, this is Alora, and I'm a prequel trilogy kid.
And this is Dave, and I'm an original trilogy kid. And you're listening to What Does Star Wars Mean to You? The show where we talk to all kinds of fans of the franchise, from industry insiders to indie artists, from obsessive mythologists to mega collectors, all for one goal, to take the hate out of the debate by focusing on one fan at a time to find out what does Star Wars mean to you. Plus, it's just fun to chat Star Wars.
Yeah. Welcome to our Cantina chatter, although today's Cantina is Earl Grey tea. Dave and I You don't have a
I don't
cantina?
have a drink.
Oh no!
I need to go get some water or something.
So that's okay. It's a very PG cantina.
Yes, it is. But after we get through the intro, I'm gonna go get some water.
Awesome. This is where Dave and I deep dive on our favorite aspects of guest interviews and discuss what's interesting to us in the world of Star Wars this week. And we're going to kick things off by kind of recapping our conversation with Mitch and Bailey.
Yes, Mitch and Bailey, who are a father-daughter Star Wars influencers. They're on TikTok and Reels, and they're both artists. They're both graphic designers, and they do a lot of they make their own costumes. They made a
they always engineer their own droids.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes. They've got a standing K2SO that looks film perfect.
Yep.
Mitch is big into Star Wars. Bailey considers herself a sequel trilogy kid. And it was just a lot of fun talking to them. And one of the things I really took away from it was I love the idea that Mitch said about his work of he took hours and hours just learning to cut glass to make a stained glass window of Padme Amidala. And he talked about the great sense of accomplishment he felt doing that. And that always really inspires me, because I truly believe that one of the things TV lied to me about was that things just happen instantaneously. You don't have to put the work in. And so as I see people putting the work in accomplishing things, I find that very inspiring.
Yeah. There's something... this is so not in the topic of what we discussed, but I recently, kind of in the similar vein, I went to Nick Offerman's stand-up special recently.
Yes.
And that was something that was, I feel like, kind of the main message of the night. Like it was kind of promoted as like an evening of woodworking and jovial conversation. But and there's all those reasons for why, because they have like a studio where they teach kids and stuff. But that was kind of the overall message of the night, was making things with your own two hands and not, necessarily leaning into what's mass produced. And I think that when you talk to somebody like Mitch and Bailey, who are constantly, wanting to create things and then learning new skill, learning new craft to make that happen, it's really inspiring. It's a good reminder that the best things do come from hard work and the best things come from learning new things. So yeah, that had an impact. And then I also just really love any father-daughter duo.
Yes.
I just do. I feel like we've been seeing a lot more of that kind of more wholesome. I just think it's really wholesome when you have a father-daughter team, or folks that are into the same hobbies. Or I feel like recently too, in the last year, you've been seeing that more and more on social media with the Taylor Swift effect of football and all of these dads that are now connecting with their daughters. And I think when you have an IP that really unites generations, but especially family, that's that just gives you the warm and fuzzies. And I love that they're sharing it with the world. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think
that was a really rambling way of saying that they're just putting out a lot of positivity and a lot of creativity, and the world needs more of that right now.
Yes. During the episode, we talk about their joy being infectious. And I think that truly comes across when you listen to them. When you watch their social media content, there is such a true joy there.
Yeah.
I'm going to go get water now. So I got my water.
Okay, good.
So 2 weeks ago, we went to the Emerald City Comic-Con.
Yeah.
And it was a really great... it's a fun Comic-Con. It's a really good Comic-Con. It has that feel of old school Comic-Cons, not like the hyper industry fueled Comic-Cons. We got to meet some great people. We got fan on the street interviews. We visited the droids and Star Wars experience. We bought stuff.
We did purchase items, yes.
We purchased some items. And then we were in line for the Hayden Christensen photos, but didn't get the picture, and there's a whole story there, and we'll get into that. But first, let's talk about what nerd stuff did you get?
This is actually the least amount I've spent at Emerald City in the 3 or 4 years we've been going. Yes. I usually go in with a number and
run right by that number.
Run right past it, and my husband goes, "You did what?" And then we deal with it later. But this year, I don't know what it was. I love Emerald City Comic Con. Like you said, I love the kind of more like small town feel it has. It is a little bit more detached from the industry experience that you probably get down in like San Diego or even like Anaheim. Their cons. And there's a trade-off to that, right? Like, you're not getting the industry panel updates, but you are getting, you're getting the talent that really loves what they do and wants to show up for the fans. And so there's a different energy. I bought a few books. One of them, though, had nothing to do with Star Wars. I bought the Bridgerton cookbook, but I'm thrilled with it. And then I also got, kind of later in the day, this is probably something I wouldn't have done if I had spent a lot of my money elsewhere, because I don't normally like these kinds of things. I feel like they're oftentimes a gimmick, and I think this was too, but I actually am pretty thrilled with what I got. But I did the blind box lightsaber experience from Ultra Sabers. They do have like really great sabers. I ended up with, I don't know if you're going to use this video or not. Maybe. Okay. I ended up with like a pretty standard hilt. And at first when they opened it, I was like, oh, like it's got no bells and whistles. I had a little moment of like irkedness over it. But the more I've spent time with it, I actually really like it a lot. And one of the reasons I love it a lot is because it is so basic and it is so slender that like I'm learning how to do tricks a lot easier than I am with my saber from Batu because it's so heavy. So it's like a really great training saber.
That's awesome.
So I'm thrilled with that. And then it's also my first Sith saber.
Oh,
God,
wow.
that looks so creepy.
I remember every time we got separated on the floor, I'd look around and I'd see you there flashing the red lightsaber, like turning it on and off. I'd be like, oh, there she is.
Yeah. Whenever I would lose Dave, I would just hold the lightsaber up and go ding, 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 ding. He would find me. So, now I have the light and the dark side. Win-win.
Awesome. That's awesome.
How about you?
Yeah. I don't get a lot at the cons in general. I love seeing the stuff, but I don't. I just traditionally don't buy a lot of stuff. But I did come across these not laser printed, but wood coasters that are lasered with Star Wars characters on them. Like they laser the wood to make the Star Wars characters on them. And that was a lot of fun. That was just a little fun knickknack that I love me some coasters. Yeah. And I was like, oh, I finally have a set of Star Wars coasters. And then realized, wait a minute, I have a set of Star Wars coasters at home already.
But those are more for show. Those aren't for use.
Yeah. And so, and then I got my friend a signed Strange New Worlds book from John Jackson Miller because he's a big Strange New Worlds fan. And I was like, oh, we're here. Why not?
Yeah.
Then we also had the Hayden Christensen photo.
Hayden Christensen group 1, 2, 3, and 4. They are open. Please make your way into line number 5.
We were going to get our photo taken with Hayden Christensen. We signed up for that. But then we got to where you like group up for the lines.
The holding cell? Yes.
The holding cell. It was a large room. It's like a room the size of a school gymnasium, it felt like. There were hundreds of people in the room. In the space, maybe 1,000. It was also where all kinds of signings were happening. All the photographs were happening. And we kept hearing the announcements for and the first thing to be known is it was behind. And we got there around 12:30. Our time was supposed to be 1:40, and then it slowly pushed to 1:50, 2:00. And meanwhile, we're hearing all these announcements for other people to get their photos taken with and
psychologically it wasn't great.
it was a tough wait. It was a tough because we were also like, oh, there's this panel happening now, but we could be lined up for photos at any moment. What do we do?
Yeah.
And I think in general, I found the mood early on. Everyone, like, the fandom is really good and kind, and people were like sharing, like, oh, here's the deal. Like, we have to wait here. There's information up on that board for when you line up. Like, it was like a 3-process deal. There's the holding cell where it's just people milling about.
Yeah.
And then I guess we should call it the holding area.
Yeah, that was my dark joke.
And then there was the area where you actually line up for the photographs, and then there's the photographs. And we were in the holding cell part of that for
all of it.
3-4 hours.
Yeah, and like you said at the beginning, there was a lot of, like, I feel like camaraderie, and everyone was showing, like, you know, different things they had signed by, like, other artists and other talent, and that was, like, so much fun. And, like, I jumped out a couple times and got us all candy from the concessions, and, like, we were, like, just filling up on M&Ms and Sour
thank
Patch
God I
Kids.
had that Diet Coke. You probably saved my sanity with the Diet Coke and chips.
And we made some great friends in line. Shout out to Punky, who found us on social media after. Really, truly, like, honestly, I mean, it really was a great, like, fan experience in terms of the community. And then the tide shifted, I feel like, at one point. I think everyone was just really tired.
It was really tired. I also think, airlines do this. Anytime there's delays, they soft play the delay. They're like, oh, it's going to be 15 minutes. Then 15 minutes later, it's like, oh, it's going to be 15 minutes. Then 15 minutes later, oh, it's going to be 15 minutes. It's like, just tell me an hour, okay?
Because then we can go and come back. Like, be honest about the wait time. And this is absolutely no shade to Hayden Christensen. This is more of a, like, Dave and I come from the production world. I currently work in the event space. There were things in terms of, like, the communication and even, I think, the structure of the line procedures for the con that would have made a 3-hour plus wait way more
bearable.
You know, I wasn't going to say enjoyable, but just, like, at least so everyone felt like they were on the same page. There was less confusion, because that's kind of what happened. Is, like, it went from, like, all right, we're here and settled in as a crowd to more and more people arriving for later scheduled stuff, more and more confusion, more and more trying to pass information on. Some of that information wasn't correct. Then people getting upset that information wasn't correct.
Yes.
But that's just the nature of, like, telephone, right? Is, like, it just always unravels. And so thankfully, at one point, we all looked at each other and we were like, we want dinner and love to Hayden, but we're going to leave.
It's one of those things where we had waited, I want to say 3 hours, and we're Group 8. We were supposed to have our line was supposed to start at 1:40. It was nearly 3:00, maybe 3:30, and they said, "Oh, come back in 40 minutes, and then you'll line up." And we were like,
maybe not.
You know.
We'll meet Hayden when we're supposed to meet Hayden.
Yeah, we'll meet Hayden when we're supposed. If you're listening to this, Hayden,
we love you.
Why don't you come over, be on the show?
No, it was just a small failure in terms of, like, the organization of the con.
Yes.
And I will say this, though, because I do love Emerald City Comic Con, and after we slept on it, I wrote a very long email to the organizers of the conference. Thank you. I truly, genuinely was like, okay, if I'm going to send this, it's going to be from a place of, like, this would have made my experience better. And I got an email back almost immediately from someone in their customer service team being like, you've raised some really important points. Thank you so much. And we're going to forward this on to our event managers. who then also emailed me.
That's the best part. I like that the event managers emailed you. I really do.
I really do too. And their emails were super kind, and they really heard what we had to say, and they admitted that, like, yeah, they could have done better, and that they really appreciated that the feedback was constructive and not,
yes, not
just
what I would have done, which was verbal
like,
abuse.
Fuck you, and like like I spent money on this. Like, no, because like that's not what this is about. This is about fan experience and everyone having a good time. And so, yeah, I just really appreciated their response. I really did.
Yeah. And one thing, I've worked a couple of Comic-Cons back in the day, and the fans are always so positive and so like willing to be patient and listen or just kind of go with the flow so that they can get the experience that they want. And
everyone's
so
just happy to be there.
Yeah. But we also like, there are also some tremendous things at Emerald City Comic-Con, like the Star Wars experience, which is put on by cosplayer associations, like Star Wars cosplayer associations. And it's a room that is as if you're visiting Tatooine, and it has, before you walk into the room, there's two Imperials.
You get like your passports from them, right?
Yeah, you get a passport from them. They greet you. They're basically calling people in to join the experience, but they're so great because they're so in character. And I did get to interview one of them. This is Angel, who was an Imperial engineer. We're at the Star Wars experience at Emerald City Comic-Con right now. Can you explain a little bit what that is?
Sure. This is a gathering of costume clubs. So these are fan organizations from all around the state of Washington, and we gather to celebrate our love of Star Wars with screen-accurate props and costumes.
That's amazing. And I see you're dressed as an Imperial officer. What's your rank?
I'm an operations colonel. We build things.
Excellent. So kind of an Imperial engineer.
That's right.
Excellent. What is your comfort Star Wars movie to watch?
Rogue One.
Is there any particular reason?
I love Rogue One. It's a great story, and it has such a great sense of place.
Excellent. What is your favorite way to Star Wars?
My favorite way to Star Wars? I think it would be the wonder of fans.
And can you expand upon that? What is it about the wonder of fans that really attracts you or connects you to Star Wars?
Sure. It is sort of the amazement at this shared experience of something that speaks to sort of these fundamental stories, these myths that kind of draw people in and speaks to people in their experience.
Excellent. And finally, what is your favorite Star Wars memory?
I think my favorite Star Wars memory was the first time that I did one of these events about 4 years ago, when I discovered that there's this whole constellation of thousands of people that love doing exactly what we're doing here, and what an amazing social connection that is.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much. So many people say community is their favorite part of Star Wars.
Absolutely. Cannot argue with that.
Thank you. So that was Angel, and he was great, but then you walk inside, and right away, you walk up to kind of like a ticket booth. It's almost like you're disembarking from a ship and like walking through the docking bay. And they do this kind of welcoming spiel that's really funny.
Welcome to Tatooine. Do you have any fruits, vegetables, exotic pets, illegal droids?
There was this one bit where a person cosplaying as a Tusken Raider walked up and was trying to hand them their what do you call it, the gaffy stick? And the Imperial was like, "Oh no, that's native to Tatooine, so you don't have to turn that in or anything. There's no tariffs on that or whatever." And it was just like, I was like, "Oh my god, what a great response to a cosplayer trying to hand the gaffy stick to them." It was just wonderful improv. When people think on their feet like that in character, I just love it.
We love a yes and.
Yes, we love a yes and. And then like right away there was a kind of a street vendor in one corner that was selling like tauntaun meat and
had all the puns.
All the puns.
Very punny guy.
Welcome to the Dark Empire meat stall. We have wampa, we have tauntaun, we have pork, we have other meat-like products. Guaranteed fresh at some point.
Do you have Wookiee?
Wookiee meat's a little chewy. I set you up with.
Describe tauntaun meat. I've always wondered.
It's best if you cook it when it's lukewarm.
See? You got it too.
Welcome, travelers, to the well-worn path.
And there was a space where you could get your photo taken with lightsabers, which was fun. Like they were doing, if you both picked light side lightsabers, then you were back to back, like in a fight. And if one of you were Sith and one of you were light side, you were fighting each other, and it was just fun. It was like one of the first times I've held a lightsaber like that. Honestly.
Oh, really?
You know? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That photo makes me laugh.
Yes. Yeah. That photo makes me laugh too in a shameful way.
No. I actually mean that. Like, it actually just like truly makes me like genuinely like happy laugh because not only are we just being so silly, but it was funny because when he handed me the saber, he was like, really like make a face like you're going for your enemy. And I said something along the lines of like, oh, I can channel some feminine rage. Don't you worry. And I went to do it. And then my husband was standing on the end of the saber, which just made me like kind of try to like not laugh because like I have no rage towards him.
Yes.
So the photo's me just being like squinting. It was really funny.
And then you walk towards the back, and there was like oh God, what's his name? It's the droid DJR3X. I think it was DJR3X.
It was
like doing a DJ thing.
The Cantina was there.
Yeah, and that's where the Cantina was. And you're like, oh, there's Ahsoka. And I'm like, where? You go, right over there. I'm like, where?
Turn your body.
You physically turned my body right there. And she was literally 3 feet from my face. It was like...
literally right in front of him, y'all.
It was like, hey, where's the ketchup? We don't have ketchup. No, it's right there in the door of the fridge. That's what it felt like. And this was Molly, and she was cosplaying as Ahsoka, and we got to interview her. So let's
talk to Molly.
First question, who are you dressed as, and how long does it take to get into this outfit?
Okay, I'm dressed as Ahsoka Tano, specifically Ahsoka, in her mechanics coveralls from Season 7 of The Clone Wars. So the costume itself does not take that long to put on. The makeup takes between an hour to 2 hours. Usually I'm about an hour and a half, and then I have to glue this prosthetic on, which doesn't take very long, but I feel like sometimes it's more of like a mental game. Like I have to psych myself up for it because it's always scary of like, is the glue going to work? Is it not going to work? So it's about, I guess in total, I would say maybe like 2 hours for everything, and then like 2.5 hours on like a bad day or whatever.
Wow, that's really intense.
What Star Wars is your comfort Star Wars?
So this is gonna make me sound like sociopath, but it's Rogue One, the one where everybody dies. I would say Rogue One, and then Rogue One / Andor is my favorite, and then Return of the Jedi is my comfort because that's the one I also remember watching first as a child. But as an adult, I feel like I take comfort from Rogue One and Andor.
Okay, no, that's fair. That's fair. What is your favorite way to Star Wars?
Costuming, of course. Right. Yes. Costuming. I recently purchased a Star Wars crossword puzzle book, and I love crosswords, so that makes me very happy.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Can you get that at Amazon?
I don't know. Probably.
I gotta find that. I have to find that. I love crossword puzzles.
Yes. Our last question for you. What is your favorite Star Wars memory?
Oh my gosh. That is such a... I don't know if I can pick one. I do remember when I was like 14, I think, my sister and I went to see, it was a Star Wars live-in concert where like the symphony was playing and they showed like clips from the movies, and Anthony Daniels was there and he was narrating it. I also, a couple years ago at SummerCon, I met Ashley Eckstein and Dee Bradley Baker in this costume, and that was a really incredible experience. I also feel like, just in general, there's so many memories of like time spent with family and friends, like my husband and I, there's like a Star Wars D&D that we like to play together, or like my dad was watching The Mandalorian, and then he really loved Ahsoka, so he was like, tell me about Ahsoka, and I was like, okay, watch the Clone Wars, watch Rebels, and so now my dad is like a huge Ahsoka fan, so it's just such a wonderful thing. You feel like you asked the question, I've like pulled the thread and unraveled the whole sweater, but yeah.
No, that's perfect. We hear that a lot. It's all about community, and like that's honestly why we're here today and chatting with people, is just to kind of reinforce that like Star Wars is community and Star Wars is for everybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
May the Force be with you.
And with you too.
I did hunt down those the Star Wars crosswords. Amazon has some, and I need to get that.
Honestly,
I love
that sounds like a great thing to do, to like not be scrolling TikTok at night. Like I should probably do that too. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I should be. Oh, there's so many things I should be doing other than that, and I'm not.
Crack a
book. Yeah, crack a book. Maybe do a little meditation.
Yeah, something for the mental health. So then we went down to Artist Alley.
Yes.
And we ran into some pretty cool people down there.
Yes, we ran into Brennan, who was he was cosplaying as the Ralph McQuarrie concept art of Boba Fett.
Mm-hmm.
So a little more orange, kind of a different mask. And I have to say, one thing I love about fans and cosplayers is when you stop them and you're like, hey, can we ask you some questions? They're like, yes, you can. And
I spent 30 hours building this. Ask anything you want. Yeah, that's
yeah. It's just a lot of fun talking to them. Now, I see you're dressed as the Ralph McQuarrie Boba Fett. How did you come to do that?
I saw someone that was doing a casting of the helmet, and I thought it was really cool, and then I took my own spin on it, kind of did my own paint job, and then the rest of the costume kind of just built from there, getting the rest of the pieces assembled. So yeah, piece by piece.
It looks amazing.
Thank you very much.
Are there other characters that you cosplay as?
This is my main one for right now. Nova from Marvel Comics. I'm working on one of those. So, but yeah, this is my main guy.
What is your comfort Star Wars movie to watch?
I gotta go with Phantom Menace. Just reminds me of childhood. I love that movie. It's my favorite Star Wars movie. A lot of people hate on it, but a special place in my heart for that one. So yeah.
No, we don't hate on it here.
We take the hate out of the debate on this show. Yeah.
What is your favorite way to Star Wars?
Favorite one? Me and my cousins, we have a couple of dueling lightsabers and just whack each other. That's a fun one.
That's awesome. I love it. And what is your favorite Star Wars memory?
One of the first movies I remember seeing going in theaters was the premiere for Revenge of the Sith. So going and seeing that was a really good memory. And I'll hold that one close.
That's excellent. Now, we refer to ourselves like, I'm an original trilogy kid. She's a prequel trilogy kid. And, of course, you could be a sequel trilogy kid. Which one do you think you are?
I'm probably a prequel trilogy kid. I do love all of them, but probably the most for the prequels, yeah.
Excellent, Brendan. Thank you so much. Fantastic costume.
Thank you very much.
And then, this is the first interview I got.
I missed this. I wasn't here for this.
This was with a Lady Vader. Kaylee was her name. And I was waiting at will call for you guys to arrive.
Yes.
And
our train was delayed.
and I saw. Oh no, it wasn't. I was also super early because we said we were going to meet at 10, and I was there at like 9:30, 9:40. I think.
Well, then that's on you, man.
Yes, it was 100% on me. And I saw Lady Vader, and I was like, okay, I'm going. This was my warm up interview for the day, kind of and it was really embarrassing because I had the recorder in one hand. And I'm holding the questions in another, and I'm keeping my foot on the case for the recorder and my other stuff so that I don't lose it. And it was just a very funny, kind of like clumsy interview.
I don't think so. You're always harder on yourself than others are. I'm sure she wasn't even phased.
She wasn't. Now, you're dressed as Lady Vader?
Yes, I am.
And how long did it take you to create this costume?
Couple months, but it was a lot of procrastination at the same time.
I totally get that. I'm always procrastinating things. Now, what is your comfort Star Wars movie to watch?
Honestly, Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, why is that?
It's kind of just the one I always remember. I've watched it my entire life, and that's the one I've always just gravitated to.
Now, one of the things we say on the show is, like, I'm an original trilogy kid. Our co-host is a prequel trilogy kid, and you could be a sequel trilogy kid. Which one of those three would you put yourself as?
Prequels, 100%.
100%. That's your Star Wars.
Yeah.
Excellent. What is your favorite way to Star Wars?
Oh, I mean, is there really just one way to do it?
No, I don't think so.
I mean, I coached archery, and I called all my kids my Padawans, and when they started doing the 6-7 crap, I said 66. All of them were all Star Wars nerds, so they all got it. And I'm like, don't pull that around me.
That is genius. And what is your favorite Star Wars memory?
Playing Star Wars with my friends when we were like 8, and we all had the cheap collapsible lightsabers,
Yep.
and they all wanted me to be Padme or Leia, and I'm like, no, I am Obi-Wan, and I would fight all of them, and I fought it to be Obi-Wan until I got double bounced off the trampoline, and then I heard, oh, shit, we killed her, and I blacked out for a second.
Oh, no. You no longer had the high ground.
No, I did not. I lost that very quickly.
My final question for you is, you big into the prequel trilogy, love Obi-Wan. Why Vader today?
Because it's cool and I like it. There's a certain command it holds.
Yes.
And I might be short, but there's still some kind of intimidation when I put the helmet on.
100%. You're a little short for a Vader, but you pull it off.
Hey, I got portable high ground.
Yes, you do. Those boots are fantastic. It was great talking to her, and it was great talking to all the fans. So that's what I really love. I think that's my favorite part is literally going up to strangers and go, can I ask you some questions about Star Wars? And having them go, yes, please
you
do.
Can.
It was that was fun.
I want to say overall, there was definitely a lot of our con that was spent in ways we didn't plan for. But
Yeah.
I did have a lot of fun. We met some really great
Yes.
people. We saw some really great art.
Yes.
We spent a little bit of money. And we maybe didn't get to some of the panels we had planned because our afternoon went a different direction. But that is also the nature of fandom. You have
It is.
it just is. So it was fine. Hayden, we love you. Please come on our show. That's all I'll say about our con.
That's what Star Wars means to us this week. Again, I want to thank Mitch and Bailey for coming on and sharing their Star Wars story. Thanks to the fine folks at Emerald City Comic Con as well. And you know what? One thing I kept meaning to say while we were talking about it earlier was we did get a refund. And it
Yes, we
wasn't
did.
super hard. And I really appreciate that because I do feel like getting a refund is very difficult in that situation.
It is.
And everyone with the event were helpful. So
Yeah, there was an understanding that they had kind of missed the mark on some of the organization. And while
yes.
there were a lot of things that were also out of their control and out of talent's control that had happened, I appreciated that they owned their part and made it right. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you want to get into the conversation, if you want to tell us how your days at Emerald City Comic Con were spent, you can do so at Star Wars Mean to You. That's at Star Wars Mean, the number 2 and the letter U. And then next week, we have
Scruffy.
we have Scruffy from
Scruffy.
Hyperspace Heroes. He's one of 3 Gen X guys on the podcast Hyperspace Heroes, which is just them trying to make it through the universe.
Yeah. And we love their show. I think we've been on
Yes.
twice.
Yes.
You might be.
Yes.
I've gone on 3 times. Yeah.
I might have. I don't know, but
Yeah.
I love talking to them. They're a great bunch of guys, and it's really fun to kind of do a deep dive into Scruffy Star Wars fandom.
Yeah, it was really fun to get to know more of his story and his journey through his Star Wars fandom.
Yeah, and again, it's a lot like talking to the fan on the street. It's just I mean, we say this as kind of a joke at the top of these episodes, but it's just fun to chat Star Wars, and it was just fun to chat Star Wars with Scruffy.
It really was.
So until then, may the Force be with you.
And with you.
Was that a corny way of saying "May the Force be with you"? I don't think so. It was fine.
I don't think so.
Hyperspace Horizons.
That was a bad one. I'm losing my touch.
Yeah, you gotta fucking work on that, man.
Okay.
I just found the secret transmission.
Okay.
Okay.